Hi everyone. I'm back to making masks for the school where my daughter-in-law teaches. I sent them a bunch, but they could use more and I'm happy to make them. But in the meantime, a few people have asked me how I'm doing my ties. So I thought, while I'm putting ties on these two, I'm going to show you what I do. I cut my ties quite long. I do them about 54 inches. I attach pieces together whenever I need to, just by the same technique that I use when I'm binding my quilts or making bias tape. So they're quite long, but my attitude is better long than short. And if it's too long and bothers someone, they can always trim it and tie a new knot in it. But I'll show you how I do this. I have a tool for making bias tape, but as usual, I put it away for safekeeping and have no idea where I put it. I've taken my craft space apart, even checked my bedroom to see if I put it there. I can't find it, but someone showed me this neat little hack. So you can use a safety pin, or you can use a straight pin and just attach it at the top and bottom to make sure that it doesn't come apart. I press about 1 inch of my fabric. I cut it 1.5 inches wide, and I press about 1 inch of it to push it through. And I don't have a camera at my pressing station, so I'm just going to improvise. So what I do is I take my iron, hold it down, and I pull up on these sides and press, and then move it along, press down, and pull up and press. And I find that this has been the best way to make the tape, since I can't find my binding tool or my bias tape tool. I can't find it. No idea what I did with it. So after I've done the whole thing, then I continue on by folding it in half and pressing again all the way along. I sew mine with a straight stitch, but I know some people are using a zigzag stitch or their serger to close it up, but I just use a straight stitch. And after I've sewn the entire length, I press it again to set the stitches. And so far, this has worked great for me. So let's just put this one aside, and I'll show you how I put the ties in. So I've tried a couple of different ways. I've done the ear elastics. I've done 2 lengths to tie at the top and bottom, 2 separate lengths. I've done the elastic that goes all the way through the whole thing. And I've done this with the loop at the top and now the loop at the bottom. All the feedback I've gotten so far is that the loop at the top is most comfortable. It sits on your ears and behind your head and ties behind your neck. Not everyone is physically able to lift their arms to tie behind their head and on their neck. It might be difficult for some people, perhaps the elderly, to tie 2 ties or to tie up high. And so far the feedback I've had is that this is the most comfortable way to do them, and they're easy to adjust once you have the loop over your head, sitting on your ears and behind your head. So what I do is I start my tie with a pin, and I start it at the bottom of the mask. We'll just insert that, and we're going to feed it through, making sure to keep the tie straight as you're feeding it through. I also make a larger channel. You can see that my channel is quite large. I make that by double folding the insert pocket, the filter pocket. And I've shared a different video, another video in the group to show you how I double fold these. So I'm going to feed that all the way through without twisting my ties, I hope. There we go. With a large channel, it's easy to straighten them out. Okay, we're going to feed that through, and we're going to leave about the length of the tie that you need. Then I'm going to flip it over. And the easiest way I found to assure that I'm not twisting is just to do this. Make your loop. at the top. Make sure that my tie is straight, and then I'm going to feed it through this side. There we go. Make sure that it stays straight and feed it through, watching your loop to make sure that it's flat, that it's not twisted. That looks good. If you catch any little threads, you just need to cut them off. There we go. So my loop is in and it's straight. So now all I do with the ends is, well, of course, remove the pin. And I'm just going to tie a knot in the end. I'll do the same on the other one. And then I just line them up. And these are quite even, but if they aren't, I'm just going to trim them off and make them even. So that's all there is to it. That's how I've been doing my ties, and all the feedback I'm getting is that this is the most comfortable way to wear them. This tie will go over your ears and behind your head, and then tie behind your neck. And if they're too long, they can be easily trimmed and retied if the person who's wearing it wants to do that. So I hope this little video will help you make ties for your masks. Thank you for watching.